As an MN student, I am not required to do a research. So I basically had to do uh, 18 credits, of course, in my coursework. So before I chose my courses, I had a solid plan even before I started my term one. So the way I group my courses is that I chose a particular specialization which I need to be better at. So, for example, say machine learning, I always had in my mind that I had to take courses on machine learning. So, I made sure I take at least one course in my term one and one course in my term two, which was related to machine learning. That way, I had at least two courses in a particular stream, and I could make that helpful either in my academics following that term, or it could be help me in my professional career as well. That's how I chose my courses. And the one tip I would like to give the new students is that try to register for more courses than just the required number. For example, don't just select three and go and take that courses. You have an option to drop courses after 15 days, I guess. So register for more courses and choose later which one you need to take further into the term. That would be my advice.
And from the Master of Applied Science perspective, so it is thesis based, so there's definitely an aspect of research, but there is a minimum number of credits that you need to take before you can graduate. So in terms of courses, I got a good rundown on courses that might be beneficial for me from a power electronics perspective and a power systems perspective from some of the past students in the lab. So that was kind of nice to see, to just bounce questions off of them and get a gauge of what courses benefited them the most. Another tip that I would like to kind of pass on is that don't feel like you are required to take courses within your discipline. You're required to take a certain number of credits, say in EECE, so electrical engineering, computer engineering. So, but you're also able to kind of branch out, and I was able to take some courses from the clean energy engineering department, and that was super interesting, and I actually learned quite a bit just from those courses that were kind of outside of my so-called realm of expertise. So yeah, definitely take a look at some of the different courses offered in different faculties. They might be interesting to you and kind of help you down the road.
Yeah, I think for me, like basically the courses I took, I either like I need to talk to my supervisor about what is her suggestion that could be related to my research, or she has more knowledge about like which professor are teaching what kind of courses and what's major topics in the courses and whether that suits me or not. And the other like direction where I take course from is basically also talk to other students, either from our lab, outside our lab. But they may say, okay, I took this course before, it can teach you what, and I think that's really helpful. The topics itself is pretty interesting, so you might be interested in that. So that's the two major sources of getting recommendation on what course to take. And also I'm kind of like interested in looking at all the courses provided in department. So basically I also look at those lists and to find what each course is about, and then to see if there's anything that I'm interested in. And then as I think someone already mentioned, you can always take more courses than you are expected, like you are required to, and you can go attend like the first 2 weeks, I guess, courses, and to see how you feel about the course, whether you like it or not, and then decide which course to take. And also for me, because my area is like computer engineering, so it's more related to computer science. So I also took a lot of courses from computer science area. And for PhD students in general, I didn't get a chance to take this course due to some time conflict, but I heard like there's one introduction course. I think it's EECE 500, which basically introduce you to the PhD program, like what you need to do, how do you plan your whole PhD journey. And I heard that one is pretty useful. Yeah, so yeah, for your information. Yeah, I think that's all from my side.
Yeah, so I took 2 courses just to meet to fulfill the requirements of my PhD. The first course was Academic Enterprise, which was also recommended by my professor. So academic enterprise is more about like how to do PhD, what are the key components, how can you improve your writing, what kind of writing skills would you need to have in order to write a research paper. So that was pretty helpful in that. The other course I took was from math department. It was Math 441, which was on linear programming. So, or let's say discrete optimization. So basically I wanted to have to build some optimization skills. I didn't have any course, optimization related course in my master's. And my research wasn't related to optimization as well, but I wanted to like acquire some skills in optimization. So I took this undergrad level 400 level course. So if you are doing PhD in electrical engineering, like even my supervisor suggested me to take an undergrad level course in the maths department because the grad level course in maths department are pretty tough. Yeah, and that can give you a hard time. And another course I audited was, you can also audit a course if you don't want to register. So another course that I audited was on graphs and networks, optimization in graphs and networks. That was also a very great subject to work on. And I guess like most of people have their research ideas based on graphs and networks. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Yeah, thanks, Aria. I can relate also to auditing a course. I think it's very helpful in terms of saving time. You don't really have to go through submitting all what a course really requires. In my case, I did my master's in the same field as my PhD. So I was fortunate to be able to transfer 18 credits out of the 24 required by the PhD program. This meant I needed to take only 2 courses, 6 credits. However, I ended up taking 4 throughout my program, 3 in the first term because I wanted to really take them, and 1 workshop in the following year, so 15 credits in total. In terms of decision, I had a chat with my supervisors, Professor Lucas Krostowski and Professor Sudeep Shekhar. Both of them really gave me great advices in the beginning and suggested a course each for me to take. So Professor Lucas suggested me to take silicon photonics fabrication, elect 463 with him. And Professor Shekhar suggested me to take the CMOS for silicon photonics, which is EECE 571Z with him. And I personally wanted to take a different course, which is the waveguide theory 582, EECE 582 with Professor Nick Yeager. So to make everyone, including myself, happy, I took the 3 courses. And the workshop that I took was a year later. It was one of the great workshops that I attended, which was in University of Ottawa. And I collaborated with colleagues from other universities on interesting topics. I think that was the EECE 584 course. So I only took those 4 courses. I was pretty determined on what I wanted to study more about, so all of them were actually useful. So take your time, look up the courses, see which ones you really want to take and what you're going to be taking out of them and helping you throughout your PhD. I wouldn't say that all the courses definitely helped me in my PhD, but the content was there. I knew what I took in the course, I knew what I had, so I knew what I wanted to refer to when I bumped into a problem throughout my PhD. So that's a good thing about the course. You get the resources, you're getting exposed to some content that you can easily refer to.